The strange awakening, the first thing he felt was the light dot. It was too bright, too warm. It slid across his closed eyelids like a lazy cat stretching in the sun. Normally, the colony's shutters kept the twin sun glare away until his alarm went off. But today, no alarm. Just the strange warmth on his face. Liam opened his eyes, squinting. His small apartment was a mess. Tools scattered on the floor, old food wrappers on the desk, and clothes piled on the chair. The same old mess. The same little square room. But something felt wrong. It was too quiet. Not the normal quiet of morning. This was different, heavy, like the room was holding its breath. And then he heard it breathing soft. Steady. Not his. Liam froze. His heart began to pound. Slowly, he turned his head toward the sound. She was there. A girl. Sitting cross-legged. On his bed, like she had always been there. Her hair was silver. Not dyed silver, but the kind of silver that caught the light and threw it back like water. Her skin was pale with a faint glow, like she was lit from the inside. And her eyes were not human. They swirled, tiny galaxies spinning inside them, stars flickering as she blinked. Liam stared. She stared back. For a moment, they said nothing. Then she spoke. "You are responsible now." Her voice was calm, almost gentle, but it carried something heavy in it, like a promise or a warning. Liam blinked. Responsible for what? She tilted her head slightly, as if studying him. Then she looked toward the small desk in the corner. Liam followed her gaze. The desk was messy, yes, but sitting in the middle of it, something new. A small black cube, no bigger than his fist, pulsing with a soft blue light. He had never seen it before. It gave off no heat, no sound, but he could feel it. Not with his hands, but somewhere deep in his chest, like it was breathing in sync with him. He swallowed. "What is that?" "The reason," she said simply. Her words didn't help. In fact, they made his head spin more. He had gone to bed. Last night, after a long shift fixing cargo haulers at the port, he hadn't gone out, hadn't invited anyone over. The door had been locked. He always locked it. "How?" He stopped, his voice catching. "How did you get in here?" She didn't answer. Instead, she shifted her gaze to the window. Through the thin blinds, Liam could see movement in the street below. A small drone floated past, its lens scanning windows. Not unusual. Corporate security drones patrolled all the time. But this one slowed when it passed his building. The girl's eyes narrowed. "They're already looking," she whispered. A chill ran through him. "Who's looking?" She turned back to him, her strange eyes locking on his. "If you want to live, you will keep the cube close. You will not let them see me. And you will not let the light go out." "What light?" She nodded toward the pulsing cube. Liam rubbed his face, trying to make sense of any of this. "Look, I think you've got the wrong apartment. Or the wrong guy." "I don't? Wrong?" She interrupted softly, almost smiling. "No, you were chosen." He stared at her. Chosen? By who? But she didn't answer. Instead, she uncrossed her legs and slid off the bed. Barefoot, she stepped toward the desk and placed her hand gently on the cube. The light inside it flared for a moment, brighter, then settled again. Liam noticed something else. When her hand touched it, the cube's glow matched the faint light under her skin. They pulsed together, like they were connected. "You don't understand yet," she said. "You will." He shook his head. "Lady, I don't even know your name." She turned, walking toward the window and peeking through the blinds. "Names are dangerous right now. We move soon." "Move?" "I'm not going anywhere with you," Liam said, though his voice didn't sound as firm as he wanted. She didn't reply. Instead, she watched the street below for a few seconds, then let the blinds fall back into place. "You locked your door last night," she said suddenly. His mouth went dry. "How do you know that?" Her eyes flicked toward him. "Because I unlocked it." The way she said it, not like a threat, not like a confession, just a fact, made the hair on his arms stand up. I don't understand any of this," he said. "You will," she repeated. Somewhere outside, the drone hummed. Again, closer this time. Liam looked toward the window, then back at her. She was already watching him. "You are responsible now," she said again, her voice low and steady. "And there is no going back." The cube pulsed once, twice, and then faster, as if it could feel his racing heart. The rules she won't explain. Liam didn't remember standing up, but he was on his feet now, staring at her like she just told him the planet was about to explode. The girl moved past him without a sound. She didn't walk like a human. No wasted motion, no weight in her steps, as if her feet only touched the floor because she allowed them to. She stopped at the desk and placed both hands on the glowing cube. The light responded. It brightened. The pulses becoming faster. She looked at him over her shoulder. 3 rules, she said. If you break any of them, you die. If you die, I die. If I die. Her eyes lingered on his face. Many more will follow. The words hit him like cold water. What rules? She held up a finger. Rule 1. Don't let them find me. Liam frowned. Them? Whose? She ignored his question and raised a second finger. Rule 2. Keep the cube close. Always. If it leaves your hand, they can track us. Liam glanced at the cube. Track us? Through that thing? Her third finger lifted. Rule 3. If the light stops glowing, run. Run until you can't breathe. Then keep running. She said it with no drama, no raised voice. And somehow that made it worse. Liam's throat felt dry. That's it? Those are your big rules? Her gaze sharpened. Those are your only rules. Fail in one, and your body won't even be found. Before he could respond, something outside hissed. The sound was faint, but it sliced through the morning, quiet like a knife. The girl was at the window instantly, pulling the blinds apart with 2 fingers. Liam joined her, and what he saw made his stomach clench. Down on the street, a vehicle unlike any he'd seen before hovered silently, its black surface rippling as if it were made of liquid. No markings, no lights, just a shifting black mass. 2 shapes stepped out. They looked human from a distance, but their movements were wrong. Too precise. Too synchronized. The girl's voice dropped to a whisper. Shadows? Shadows? They don't stop. They don't sleep. And they never come for the wrong person. One of the figures looked up, directly at Liam's window. He stepped back fast. Nope, no, not today. You need to get out. I didn't sign up for. You already did, she said. Last night. His mind raced. Last night? He'd been asleep. Alone, hadn't he? Before he could ask, she moved to the cube and picked it up. The glow instantly wrapped around her hands, and Liam felt a pulse in his own chest, like it was in him now. She extended the cube toward him. Take it, he hesitated. Why? Because if you hold it, it can't see you. That didn't make sense. None of this did. But the sound of slow, deliberate footsteps coming up the stairwell changed his mind. He took the cube. It was warm, alive almost. The glow spread through his fingers, crawling up his arm in faint blue threads. The girl grabbed his wrist. We have 60 seconds before they breach. They're in the building? His voice cracked. They will search every room, she said. But they won't see us if you keep your grip tight. And then she added, almost as an afterthought, don't speak when they pass. They can hear your heartbeat in your Voice. The footsteps grew louder, slow and steady, until they stopped right outside his door. Something metallic scraped against the lock. The girl didn't blink. She just looked at him and mouthed one word. Quiet. The lock clicked. The door began to open. Asterisk signs of trouble. The door slid open with the slow, deliberate motion of someone who wanted to be heard. Liam held his breath. The cube in his hand pulsed. Faster, too fast, like it could sense the danger creeping into the room. A figure stepped inside. Up close. It looked human. But wrong. The skin was smooth, too smooth, like plastic stretched over metal. The eyes were matte black, no whites, no pupils. The head turned in sharp, mechanical jerks, scanning the apartment in sections, not in fluid human motion. Liam's every instinct screamed to run, but the girl's hand tightened around his arm, hard enough to make him wince. A silent order to stay still. The figure moved toward the desk. It paused in front of the chair, bending unnaturally at the waist. Its head almost upside down as it studied the clutter. The cube in Liam's hand suddenly grew colder. The light dimmed. Not much, just enough to make his stomach drop. The girl's eyes flicked to it. Her lips barely moved. Tighter. He squeezed the cube until his fingers ached. The glow returned, and the figure froze mid-motion. It straightened, head turning toward the exact spot where they stood. Liam's pulse thundered in his ears. The figure tilted its head. For a long, awful second, it didn't move at all. Then, without a sound, it walked to the open window and leaned out, not to look, but to listen. From somewhere outside, a second voice spoke, flat, synthetic, sector clear. The figure climbed out of the window in one smooth motion, its black-gloved hands gripping the frame like a spider disappearing into the shadows. The door clicked shut behind them. Liam exhaled so hard his chest hurt. What the hell was that? The girl let go of his arm, leaving red marks where her fingers had been. Shadow hunter, low grade. That was low grade? She didn't smile. They send scouts first, then collectors, then cleaners. He rubbed his temple. I don't even want to know what cleaners are. No, she said, you don't. She walked to the window, checked the street below, then pulled the blinds back into place. They'll return, maybe in an hour, maybe in a day, but they know this building now. So we move, Liam said. Her gaze stayed fixed on the blinds. Not yet. Too many eyes outside. Liam crossed his arms. You're enjoying this, aren't you? She turned to him, and for the first time since he'd met her, her expression softened, not into a smile, but into something heavier. I've been running for 9 years, she said quietly. Enjoyment doesn't survive that long. The words stuck with him. 9 years. That meant she'd been running before he'd even left Earth. He opened his mouth to ask more, but she cut him off. There's something you need to see. She moved to his desk, brushing aside tools and wrappers until she uncovered an old data tablet. She powered it on, the screen flickering weakly to life. A grainy image appeared, security footage from somewhere dark and crowded. In the center, Liam saw himself, walking through a docking bay, alone. This was last night, she said. Yeah, that's me. So what? Watch. In the footage, his on-screen self passed a shadowed corner. A figure stepped out, tall, hooded. Something small and glowing was slipped into his backpack. Liam's blood went cold. That's the cube, she nodded once. And that is when you became responsible. He stared at the screen. Who was that? The person who, not a person, she interrupted. A courier. Dead now. The cube in his hand pulsed again. Faster this time, almost urgent. The girl's eyes narrowed. They've marked you. The signal's active. What signal? Trouble, she said simply. already moving toward the door. And it's coming faster than I hoped. From somewhere deep below the building, a low mechanical hum began to rise. The kind of sound that made the floor vibrate, just enough to set every nerve on edge. The girl turned to him. "Rule 2, she reminded. "Keep the cube close. From now on, don't let go." Asterisk the first chase, the hum became a roar. It wasn't just sound. It was vibration, crawling up through the walls, rattling the glass, making the air feel heavy in Liam's chest. The girl's head snapped toward the door. "They've deployed seekers." Seekers? She was already moving, grabbing a small pack from under his bed. Not human, not drones, worse. The cube. In Liam's hand flared suddenly, almost blinding him for a second, and a ripple of heat rolled through the room. The girl's voice dropped. "They're pinging for it. Move, now." She didn't open the door. She kicked it. The thin composite frame splintered, swinging inward to reveal the hallway. The hum was louder now, coming from somewhere below, but also from above. Basement. Or roof? Liam asked, his voice shaky. "Neither," she said, shoving him toward a maintenance hatch halfway down the corridor. "The seekers sweep both ends. We go sideways." She spun the hatch wheel with impossible speed and pulled it open, revealing a cramped tunnel lined with cables and pipes. Liam hesitated. "That's not even big enough to—" The hum suddenly shifted pitch, a sharp electric scream that stabbed into his skull. The girl shoved him hard into the tunnel. "It's big enough if you don't want your brain cooked." They crawled fast, the metal walls pressing in around them. The heat from the cables made sweat run into Liam's eyes. Behind them, a faint scraping sound echoed, not footsteps, not mechanical clanking. Something else. He glanced back and instantly regretted it. A shape was pulling itself into the tunnel. Long, jointless limbs like black cables, no head, just a smooth oval surface that pulsed faintly with red light. The thing moved without sound, except for the occasional click as its limbs locked into new positions. Liam's voice came out as a whisper. "That's a seeker, isn't it?" "Don't stop," the girl said. The tunnel forked ahead. She pointed. "Left. Down is safer." He didn't ask why. He just followed. The cube's glow was getting brighter now, but each pulse seemed to make the seeker's movements faster. Finally, the tunnel ended at a vertical shaft. She swung herself over the edge, grabbed a service cable, and slid down without hesitation. Liam stared. "I can't." The seeker's clicking was closer now. He jumped. The cable burned his hands, but he didn't let go. He landed hard on a metal grate, knees buckling. The girl caught his arm before he could fall. They were in a huge underground chamber, old infrastructure, maybe part of the colony's first build phase. The air smelled of rust and damp metal. The girl pulled him toward a gap in the wall. "Through here." As they ran, Liam glanced up at the shaft they'd come from. The seeker was there, but it didn't climb. It dropped, limbs folding in, body narrowing like it was made of liquid. It hit the grate without a sound, and then it started moving toward them, faster than anything should be able to move in the dark. The girl yanked Liam through the gap, and they tumbled into another tunnel. Behind them, the seeker hit the gap's edge and simply melted through the narrow opening, reforming on the other side like nothing had stopped it. Liam's breath was ragged. "It's not slowing down." "They never slow?" she said. "We just have to be gone before it recalculates." "What does that even mean?" The cube in his hand flared again, and for a split second, Liam saw something impossible. The tunnel around them was gone, replaced by an empty black void with faint shapes, thousands of them, watching. From the dark, he blinked, and the tunnel was back. The girl glanced at him. "You saw them?" He nodded, his mouth dry. "Then they've already chosen our path," she said. We just have to survive long enough to reach it. From behind them, the seeker's limbs scraped the floor, picking up speed. Ahead, the tunnel opened into blinding light. Asterisk, truth in pieces, the light swallowed everything. For a moment, Liam thought he'd gone blind. Then his eyes adjusted, and he realized they were standing in a cavern, but not a natural one. The walls were smooth, metallic, etched with lines that shifted when he tried to focus on them, like they were alive. Above, no ceiling. Just a vast white glow, endless, like they'd stepped into the belly of a star. The girl let go of his arm for the first time since the chase began. "It can't follow us here," she said, breathing hard. Liam turned, expecting to see the seeker at the tunnel's mouth, but it was gone. No shadow, no sound, nothing. "What is this place?" he asked Dot. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she stepped to the center of the chamber and motioned for him to join her. He hesitated, then walked over, the cube still warm in his grip. "This," she said, "is older than your species." He gave a weak laugh. "That's comforting." She turned to face him fully. "You've been carrying something you don't understand. It's not just mine. It's not just yours. It's a key." Liam frowned. A key to what? Her eyes locked on his. A door that should never be opened, but will be, if they take it. He looked down at the cube. It pulsed in time with his heartbeat. "So, it's like alien tech?" "Not alien," she said quietly. "Not exactly." Before he could press, the walls shifted. The etched lines bent and curved, forming shapes, and then faces. Human faces. Liam's chest tightened. What is that?" "They are the ones who carried it before you," she said. "And they are dead." The faces flickered, men, women, some human, some not. All of them staring straight at him. One face leaned forward from the wall, the metal stretching like liquid. Its mouth opened. "Return what was taken." The voice wasn't sound. It was in his head, a cold echo under his thoughts. Liam staggered back. "Okay, nope, I'm done." The girl grabbed his wrist. "You're not done. You've only started." "Why me? Why put this thing in my bag?" "I'm just a mechanic." Her grip tightened. "Because you can carry it without breaking." "That doesn't even mean anything." "It means," she said, leaning closer, "you survived the imprint." Something inside the cube shifted, like a small wake moving, and Liam felt a rush of memories that weren't his. Cities he'd never been to, skies with 3 moons, voices speaking in languages he couldn't understand. He stumbled, clutching his head. "What the hell? It's showing you pieces," she said. "Bits of its history, bits of our history." "Our?" She hesitated, just low enough for him to notice. "I told you, I'm not fully alien." He stared. "And the other half?" Her eyes darkened. "The other half built the Seekers." The words hit him like a punch. "Wait, so I'm the only reason they haven't found it yet," she cut in. "But that protection won't last, not after today." From somewhere far above, the white light dimmed, like a cloud passing over a sun. The faces in the walls began to fade, one by one, until only the last voice remained in his head. "If you run, they will find you. If you fight, you will die. But if you open the door..." The voice trailed off into static. Liam swallowed. "And what happens if I open it?" The girl's expression was unreadable. "Then you'll know why I was put in your bed last night." Before he could react, a deep, metallic clang echoed through the chamber. The girl turned sharply toward the tunnel. They found a way in. Liam's knuckles whitened around the cube. "You said it couldn't follow us here." "I said it couldn't," she replied, already moving toward the far wall. "I didn't say they couldn't." The metallic lines on the wall twisted again, this time forming a doorway, Asterisk, the decision point, the doorway in the wall was not a doorway at all. It was an opening cut from nothing. The edges weren't stone or metal. They were absence. The black outline of a hole that didn't belong to this place. Asterisk, the girl didn't hesitate. She grabbed his arm. Through here. Now. Liam pulled back. No, I'm done running blind. I want answers. You want answers? She said sharply. Pick the wrong path now, and you won't live long enough to hear them. From the tunnel they came through, a new sound rolled into the chamber. Low, metallic, heavy. Not the quick scrape of a seeker. This was slower, but far more deliberate. The girl's eyes flicked toward the sound. Collectors? Collectors? Liam asked, though every part of him told him he didn't want the answer. They don't chase. They take. And when they take you, you don't come back. The cube pulsed hard in his hand, and with each pulse, Liam felt it tug, not toward the doorway, but toward the tunnel, where the noise grew louder. Like it wanted him to go toward the danger. The girl noticed. Her voice turned cold. Ignore it. I can't, he said. It's pulling me. That's the imprint, she said. It's trying to finish. The metal walls trembled. Somewhere above, the white light dimmed again, and a faint shadow, huge, passed over them. The sound of it moved in waves, like massive wings. Dragging through thick air, Liam took a step toward the tunnel, without meaning to. What if the cube's trying to show me something important? What if it's trying to lead you into their hands? She shot back. He looked at her, really looked, and for the first time noticed something in her expression. Not fear, not urgency, guilt. You're hiding something, he said. Her jaw tightened. I'm hiding everything. That's how we're still alive. The tunnel's darkness seemed to ripple now, and from it emerged three shapes, tall, broad, their bodies covered in shifting plates of black armor. Their heads were smooth domes with no features, and each carried something in one hand, a long silver hook, curved like a shepherd's crook. The girl stepped in front of Liam. Last chance. Through the doorway, or you'll learn what the hooks are for. Liam's breath was ragged. I need to know why me. The collectors advanced. The cube pulsed faster, faster, until it was almost a steady glow. The pull toward the tunnel was stronger now, almost dragging him forward. The girl's voice was almost a whisper. If you follow that pull, you won't be you anymore. The nearest collector tilted its head. The hook rose. Liam's heart was in his throat. One step toward the black doorway meant trusting her completely. One step toward the tunnel meant trusting. Whatever was inside the cube, both paths promised danger. Both paths promised answers. The cube flared, and in that flash, Liam saw two different futures. One where he ran through the doorway, and one where he walked straight into. The collector's hands. Both ended in violence. He didn't have time to think. The girl shouted his name, the first time she'd spoken it, and reached for him. He moved. Asterisk, the final stand Liam moved, but not toward the doorway. The girl's fingers closed on empty. Air as he stepped into the pull of the cube and straight toward the collectors. Her voice ripped across the chamber. No, Liam, stop. He didn't. He couldn't. Each step felt heavier, but the cube's glow wrapped around him like a shield, drowning out every warning. The nearest collector froze. The hook lowered slightly, almost like it recognized him. Then, the cube changed dot. The steady glow fractured into a swirl of shifting patterns, symbols burning in meter around it. The collectors stepped back in unison. The tunnel behind them seemed to breathe, the darkness folding inward like a mouth opening. Liam's voice was shaking. What is this? The girl's reply was ice. It's calling them home. The darkness in the tunnel deepened until it was absolute. From that void, something huge began to emerge. Not metal, not flesh, but a shape that made his brain ache to look at. Its edges didn't make sense, shifting like it existed in more than one place at once. The collectors dropped to one knee. Liam stumbled back. "What are they?" "They're welcoming their master," the girl said, her voice tight. "And you just opened the door." The shape extended something like a limb, long, jointless, ending in a fan of thin, glowing strands. They brushed across the cube in Liam's hands, and for an instant, he saw everything. The cube wasn't just a key, it was a seed. It carried memories of worlds, the blueprints of species, the histories of civilizations that had lived and died before humans took their first breath. But buried inside all that was hunger. The hunger of whatever was standing before him now. Liam staggered. "I can't." "Hold it." The girl was suddenly in front of him, one hand gripping the cube, the other gripping his wrist. Her face was inches from his, her eyes blazing. "If you drop it, it will consume this world in days. If you keep it, it will consume you in hours." Her words barely registered over the rising sound, not a roar, but a deep vibration that felt like the planet itself was speaking. The collectors rose again, hooks clanging against the floor in perfect rhythm. The girl pulled harder. "Choose, Liam, me or it." The cube's light surged, spilling up his arm, into his chest, his head, and suddenly he could feel her heartbeat as if it was his own. Somewhere deep inside, the hunger whispered, "You are mine." The doorway behind them snapped wider, a violet ripple tearing the chamber in two. White light blasted through, burning the shadows away. The girl screamed his name. Liam made his choice. He wrenched the cube away from her hand, and everything went black.